everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be kind of different, and I know I say that in every single one of my videos. Actually kind of like a story time, except that it's more of an informational story time for those of you who are interested. The reason that I'm filming this is because it's coming up on my 1-year anniversary of surgery. I thought it would be kind of an interesting way of reliving it and kind of seeing how far I've come since then. That's what today's video is going to be all about. So if you're interested in hearing my story, if you have hurt your knee recently and you're interested in the process of how it goes, just keep watching and we'll get into it. Last year in March, I don't actually have the date on me, but it was in March. So the year of that, I think it was March, I think it was the 12th, but it was when I had a soccer game, and it was an indoor turf field soccer game, and I cut really fast, and when I cut, I tilted my leg really strangely, and I heard a really hard pop, crack kind of sound. My leg felt pain. I had pain there, and so I instantly fell down and was grabbing my knee, and I couldn't bend it. It was like limp, and I still can feel that feeling of what did I just do to myself? I can still feel that feeling of shock and scared. And I remember as soon as I hit the ground, and then my coaches came over to me, and I was like, oh my, I don't want it to be broken. I don't want it to be broken, because I knew it was my knee. So obviously you can't break your knee, but I was saying torn. I don't let it be torn, because for me, I've never been hurt. I've never been seriously sick. I've never even had antibiotics up until this point in my life. So I'd been so healthy. I'm terrified of needles and doctors. I just don't mix well with those. So the fact that I had just hurt myself and I could tell that it was bad really scared me. My sister and my dad came over and walked me off the field, and my dad got me in the car, and at this point I'm sobbing, because first of all it hurt and second of all because I was so scared of what I had just done. I had shock kind of, and I was afraid that I was gonna have surgery. I was gonna have to be in a cast or something. I was just afraid. We got in the car and we were debating whether I should have to go to the hospital or if I should just go home and wait it out. And I was in so much pain. I had never been in pain like that. I've never broken a bone, nothing. So this was so new to me, and I was hurting so badly. And it was kind of like a throb kind of pain, but sharp at the same time. My mom was actually in Florida with my grandma at the time, and my mom is a nurse. So in this instance, she would know what to do. And she'd be seeing what I was how I was reacting, all that stuff, but she wasn't there, and so we called her and asked her what we should do, and she said, it's up to you, whatever you feel. And I ended up deciding that we should go to the hospital, because if it was something serious, I wanted to find out soon. So we ended up going to the hospital, and the hospital was not helpful. I got there and they told me that they didn't have an MRI machine, so they decided to do an x-ray. And we all knew that I didn't have any broken bones, so the x-ray was pointless. It came back saying I was fine. They sent me home with a wrap and crutches and said that it was probably just a sprain and that I'd be fine. I was like, yes, we're good. I'm it's just a sprain, no big deal. That was stupid. I overreacted. And the next day, okay, so the game was on Saturday, and so Sunday, the next day, I woke up and I couldn't lift my leg to get it off my bed. It hurt too badly to lift my leg over my bed. I had to call my dad to literally physically lift my leg. It was I couldn't feel it, I couldn't move it, because it hurt so badly. And so my family all went to church without me, and I had to sit home, and I remember crying because I knew something wasn't right. I literally couldn't just move my leg just then. I was like, something's not right. The next day was Monday, and I didn't really want to go to school because I thought it was going to be really embarrassing walking around with crutches, especially if I didn't even hurt myself for real, if I just had a sprain. So I like didn't want to go, but the next 2 days in New Jersey it snows all the time, so the next 2 days were supposed to snow. So my best friend talked me into just going. She had just gotten this like new truck, so I had to like hop into her car. It was so hard getting into her car because I couldn't lift myself. It was like a big giant truck. Anyway, so I eventually got in there and I told everyone at school that I just sprained it. It was like no big deal, because that's what I thought at that point. I thought it was just a sprain. After a week goes by, my mom finally gets home. My knee still hurts. I'm walking on it without crutches, but it still hurts, but it's getting better. But I still can't bend it. I can't bend it at all, really. So I finally go to the doctor. They ask me all my symptoms. And I personally I think I have a pretty high pain tolerance. So this is also what I figured would happen at the hospital. I had such a high pain tolerance that no one really thought that I had actually torn my ACL, because nothing seemed to hurt me as much as they thought it would normally. Because by the time I had gotten to the hospital, I wasn't upset. And when I was at the doctor, I was so convinced that it was just a sprain, I kind of felt like it was no big deal. They weren't even thinking about getting me for the MRI. But I decided that Saturday, so it was like a week later, I think, that Saturday I had an MRI. That Monday, I remember my mom called me on my way home from school. This sounds so dramatic, but you just don't understand. Like, I've never been hurt before, and I'm terrified of doctors and hospitals and needles. Like, I'm terrified. So she called me and she goes, "Celia, you tore your ACL." Like, she couldn't believe it either. She goes, "Celia, you tore your ACL." And I, of course, start bawling because this whole time I thought it was a sprain. The hospital had me thinking it was a sprain, had me thinking it was no big deal, and all of a sudden I'm gonna have to have surgery. I'm gonna have to go to like 6 months of rehab and physical therapy. Like, I'm not gonna be able to run or even hardly walk for a period of time. Like, my whole life is going flipped upside down. So I was naturally like scared, because I was scared of surgery. Like, that was what I was mostly scared of. And also, I was going to be out of soccer and all my other sports and stuff, and things were just going to get more complicated. Fast forward, so I started going to physical therapy for about a month, and then April 18th, which is today, because it's the anniversary, so April 18th is the day I actually got surgery, and I actually planned on doing it that day because it was the beginning of my spring break. And I spent my entire spring break in rehab and doing the stupid leg machine thing that they give you, and that was my spring break. Yeah, so I went into surgery, and I remember feeling actually like not actually that scared for some reason. I felt kind of like okay, because I think I was ready to start like the healing process, like get the surgery done and like let's be healed already. So I went in, and they gave me IVs, and okay, here's like my biggest thing. I don't know if like who you're going to your doctor, if you're in the same boat as me, but this is my biggest piece of advice. I have friends who have torn their ACL and had surgery and did not get a nerve block. And they said they woke up from anesthesia in excruciating pain. Get the nerve block, because that's what I had. And I actually have a tiny little scar on my leg, which I'll show you the scar later, but I actually had they inject you in like 2 different places in your knee, and it completely numbs your legs so much, and that when you wake up you won't feel anything. Yeah, so they rolled me in. I remember getting the anesthesia, and I remember feeling a little loopy and saying goodbye to my parents, and then they rolled me off. I'll be showing pictures here, by the way, too. But they rolled me off, and I remember they asking me to help lift myself onto that operating table, and so I remember doing that, and then I remember hearing someone say like, "Good night," and then I don't know if this is true, but I remember feeling like the injection like going in like more, like I felt like a juice or something. And then I was out. And I woke up, and if you've never woken up from anesthesia before, it's like a really strange feeling. It's like, I remember I kept on like rolling my head like that, like trying to like wake up, and like it's like you open your eyes and you like can't open them. It's like your eyes are rolling back in your head. But that's how I felt. I just like couldn't wake up. My actual experience in the hospital, well, I actually wasn't in the hospital, but in the surgery center was amazing. I had an amazing doctor who actually operates on like the Giants players and Red Bull soccer players. So I was in like really good hands, and I loved my doctor. He did a great job. When I woke up, the doctor was like, "Oh, you're awake, like good to see you, blah blah," and or the nurse, and he's like, "Do you want a juice and some crackers or something?" He got me a granola bar and a juice, and then my parents came in, said hi. They taught me how to use my crutches. They wheeled me out to my car. It was weird waking up to a numb leg. It was kind of weird, but it was like fine. I got home and slept for a long time. I will say stairs were really hard for me, especially after the surgery, because I felt so loopy and tired still. So doing that was like hard. I didn't want to crutch either. So I ended up taking a huge long nap, and after that, and then that whole day was fine. And then I had to use the machine, and pretty much the next day I went back to PT, and yeah, and the whole road started again. The whole PT thing, I was back to square one. This is like my experience, and I remember for me it was like really traumatic at first, and I was like looking on YouTube, like trying to see like what exactly would happen, because I'm the type of person that really wants to know exactly what's happening when I'm walking in. I don't like surprises for stuff like that. So I wanted to know exactly what was going to happen, how it was going to go down, and all that stuff. So I watched a few videos, but there weren't any like in-deep ones. And I don't know if this is really detailed. If you have questions, you can leave it down below. But I just kind of wanted to share my story. And I know it's not at all an uncommon thing, but it was like big for me. Now I can run however long I want. I can do all kinds of exercises. I can jump, run, leap, skip, whatever on my knee, and it doesn't bother me. Sometimes it will get sore, but that's natural. It's like it's still not perfect yet. The biggest thing for me right now still is my leg is still smaller than the other leg, especially because I had huge tree trunk legs, so the comparison, it was like this compared to that practically. Like, it was crazy. So yeah, that was pretty much, and that's what I'm trying to fix right now at the gym and stuff. If you're interested in seeing, if any of you guys are had surgery and are interested in hearing some workouts that I do that are easy on my knees, that are good for your legs and your butt and stuff like that, but easy on your knees, I'd love to share some of the things that I've tested out and tried out. But for you, if you're in the healing process right now or the stages before surgery, I just want to wish you all the best of luck, and it does get better. You will be back soon, better than ever. Yes, don't get discouraged while you're in there. You're going to be back in the gym and in your sport as soon as you can. But this is one of the things that I wish I did, was at least do like crunches or arm exercises or something. Stay active any way you can. I know even though you can't move, maybe like while you're laying down, just do some like arm raises with some dumbbells or something. I don't know. It's better than nothing. I remember feeling so immobile and bored all the time, but my family was so good to me when I had my surgery. They were always there for me, especially my mom. I hope you guys had a great day. 1 year with a healthy knee, so yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe so you can see more of my videos. I do all kinds of stuff, and if you know someone who has hurt their knee recently and wants to learn more, feel free to share this with them, and yeah, give them some of my experience. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, which will be Friday. Yeah. Love you guys. Peace out, doggies. Oh, I got something in my nose. Peace, 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 peace.